Hey everyone, great to see you again. Today I'm talking about one tip that a lot of people miss when they're starting off. It's so often overlooked because it's so obvious. It would be one of the main reasons why me and my team have been able to get hired as documentary directors and shooters all over the world. And I'm gonna share exactly what that one thing is. In the past few videos, we've been talking about aimless filmmaking and assertive filmmaking, assertive documentaries. And this is all free, so if you wanna know more about that, go make sure to watch those videos right now. I'll put links below, or maybe I'll make them float around me right now. But go watch those if you wanna know more about assertive documentary filmmaking. Also, in my next video, I'm gonna be chatting about one strategy that's gonna help you finish your film. It's gonna help you create a really compelling film. It's one way to make sure you get your film done. Hey guys, just before we get into today's video, I want to let you know we just sent an email out to everyone on the early bird waitlist for the Art of Documentary. And in this email, we have a downloadable PDF that goes over the entire course outline. You're gonna get to see a list of all 50 plus videos that we're giving for the Art of Documentary course. And this is for anyone who wants to become a commercial director or documentary filmmaker, or even if you're just getting into videography. So make sure, if you haven't checked your inbox or go to the promotions tab in your Gmail, do that now. But if you haven't signed up, we're gonna be releasing this course outline to anyone who signs up for our waitlist in the next 24 hours. So run over to theartofdocumentary.com, get on that waitlist, and you'll get the course outline so you can see everything that's in store for people who are signing up for our course. But enough of that, let's get to the video. So what do all the best filmmakers look for in a story? Well, simply put, that's passion. Now, let me break this down because that might seem really obvious and maybe even patronizing. But you need passion on all levels of your project. Number one, you as the filmmaker, you need to be passionate. This is what all the best filmmakers look for in an idea. Am I passionate is what they ask themselves. This is what assertive documentary forces you to do. Are you passionate about this? Because if you're not passionate about it, you're not gonna go the extra mile when shooting. You're not gonna spend the extra time with your subject, with your character, which is when you get all the best footage. You're not gonna spend that extra time in the edit or get the best music. You're just gonna breeze through the project. And when you show it to people in the end, it's gonna feel like an unpassionate project. If you're passionate about a certain subject in life, maybe you like BMX riding, make a film about BMX riding. You're gonna know all the nuances and you're gonna be passionate about that. Or maybe you don't know anything about BMX riding, but you're passionate about learning about that. Then this is also something great to pursue. You need to be passionate about it because it's gonna help you research the subject, and it's definitely gonna come through in the final film. Number two, the people in your film, the characters, they need to be passionate about what they're trying to achieve. And this is super crucial, and this is sometimes overlooked, because if you don't have someone who's passionate, it's not gonna be as engaging to watch them. I mentioned our film Transcend in the last video, and why this film was successful was Wesley Career, our main character, was very passionate. He was trying to win the Boston Marathon and also win an election in Kenya. This man had passion. This doesn't mean that all your characters in your films have to be the best in their field. They just need to be passionate about what they're doing, because we want to follow people who are passionate. Imagine watching the movie Avengers and the characters in that film weren't passionate about saving the world. You wouldn't make for a very interesting film. So make sure the people who you're telling your story about, make sure the main character or the main characters, make sure they're passionate about what they're doing, about their lives, about what they're trying to achieve. Number three, the crew members, the people you surround your project, they also need to be passionate. Now, they don't necessarily have to be passionate about the subject you're working on, they need to be passionate about their craft. If they're a cinematographer, they need to be obsessed with cinematography. If they're the art director, or if they're the sound guy, they need to be obsessed with what they do. You need to surround yourself with people who are gonna care about your film like you do. So right now, you need to ask yourself this, and you need to be brave and honest. Am I passionate about the film idea that I'm pursuing? Am I passionate about filmmaking? If not, stop right now. Choose a new idea. Passion is what will separate you from others, because people can't have the passion you have, but they can have the skills you have. So passion actually flows both ways. You need your audience to be passionate about your film. So how do you get them to care about your film? Well, number one, you need an interesting hook at the beginning of the film. The biggest mistake people make with their documentary films is they spend precious minutes at the beginning of the film just focusing on setting up the location, the character, and their backstory. Now, backstory is important, but we need to, right at the beginning, care about this character. You can always set up backstory later on. So how do you get your audience interested? Well, in the first 5% of your film, you need to reveal the conflict in your main character's desires or goals. So take, for example, the short documentary I made for Nikon. This was a very short film about a wildlife photographer. But in the first 30 seconds of the film, we reveal that he's hoping to capture a lion up close, face to face, in the wild.
You never know when that big moment's gonna come. Probably when you least expect it. In South Africa, I hope I'm gonna be taking a portrait of a lion in the environment that defines that lion.
It's only then after that we begin to reveal that he's Scottish and where he grew up and a bit of his back life. Now, if we had approached the film differently, like so many people do, and we spent the first few minutes of the film talking about who our photographer was, David Yarrow, and about where he grew up, it would get boring and people wouldn't know why they're watching this. It would just feel like a character profile. But right away at the beginning of the film, we hooked him in because he says, I want to capture a photograph of a lion in the wild, up close, face to face. Another great example of drawing people in quickly is Kings of Kong. It got a 97% on Rotten Tomato, and back in 2007, it won Best Documentary on a lot of different categories. So this film establishes that we have the Donkey Kong champion of the world, the best arcade player with the highest score in Donkey Kong, and that he has now a challenger who's trying to defeat his score. So right away, we have the best player in the world with the new upcomer, and we understand that they are gonna be battling it out. We wanna watch this film. We wanna see where this goes. We have two people who are so passionate about Donkey Kong, and we're gonna see them battle it out. This is a great example where if you just have passionate characters, then you're gonna be drawn into their story. So, a little homework. I want you to go back to one of your own documentary films and ask these 3 assertive documentary film questions. Did I have passion about this project when I made it? Number 2, do we know your character's passion, and are they actually passionate? And number 3, do you give your audience a reason to be passionate about the film? This is the hook. And maybe after you ask yourself these questions, maybe you even want to re-edit some of the work you've done. I promise it'll hurt to pull apart the edit that you worked so hard on, but I promise you too that you'll have a wider, more engaged, excited audience about your film if you take these 3 simple steps into account.
The thought of one day not being able to run, and that's, even right now, I think that's kind of scaring me too right now. If I lose one, what's going to happen?
Now, if you've enjoyed these tips, I've got some good news, is I'm gonna be talking about these and more in my upcoming documentary masterclass. I'm gonna be giving away all the best tips that I have, all the best filmmaking tips that I know. We're gonna be talking about everything from building a story, but not only that, I'm gonna be talking about the best camera techniques, some of the best lighting techniques for interviews, how to shave off hours in your edit so you're not spending aimless time trying to create your story. This is gonna be the most extensive training I've ever released, and it's gonna contain everything I know about assertive documentary filmmaking. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm gonna be giving away some of my best documentary filmmaking advice to help you crush your films. This whole series is we're just getting into the nitty-gritty of documentary filmmaking. And of course, this can be applied to any level of filmmaking because filmmaking is all about telling good stories. So I'll see you guys there on the next one.